Well, let's get into the news docket of the day. And the big story this week was Mayor Gene Stothert and the University of Nebraska Medical Center Chancellor Jeffrey Gold signed a memorandum of understanding that calls for the city of Omaha to provide $93 million in city funds to support the next project. The next project is the $2.7 billion Med Center expansion that would bring 41,000 construction jobs during the construction phases and 8,700 permanent jobs that would pay on average about $75,000 per year. And so we have been talking about this project. We're anticipating this project. We're anticipating we will hopefully soon receive information about $1.5 billion in federal funding. This was an important step. Kudos to the mayor and the city of Omaha. Kudos to Nebraska Medicine and the University of Nebraska Medical Center. This thing seems to be going forward, Trenton. When this happens, and I say when because there is every reason to be optimistic about this, we are talking about a project that would have an approximately $1.9 billion annual impact on Omaha during the construction phase and a $1.3 billion impact annually as it operates.
We love this, and it's a 1,200-bed hospital. It's not just for disaster recovery. It's not just for pandemics of the future and all these 8,700 employees just sitting around. You're never in hopes of a pandemic or a natural disaster, but it's a working hospital, from my understanding, Jeff. That this thing is it's a teaching hospital. It's will have international impact, just like Nebraska Medicine did with the Ebola virus and other crazy things that are happening in the world. And it's a very necessary thing. And Omaha's been in the spotlight forever, but certainly during the pandemic. And this is a natural progression of that success.
Well, you mentioned Ebola, and certainly Ebola is what put us on the map for this sort of thing back in 2014 with the Nebraska Biocontainment Unit. And then, of course, at the beginning of the pandemic, remember when they vacated the cruise ship in Japan, where did those people come? Well, they came to Omaha. And at that time, we had the new facility in the Davis Center. And this will take it even further. I'm reading a press release from Mayor Stothert's office. It says the memorandum of understanding pledges up to $45 million for Project Next, and then $48 million for necessary public improvements, streets, a parking garage on the adjoining Saddle Creek campus, which would also include a new administrative building plus mixed-use development.
This is over 10 years, ladies and gentlemen.
I just don't think people realize what kind of impact this is going to have. I mean, you already, if you drive through that downtown, midtown area, it's pretty impressive, the number of multifamily buildings and other types of development that you see. You ain't seen nothing yet, because the day this becomes reality, when the feds finally say, yes, Omaha will be the first location of one of these 5 massive all bio disaster centers, kaboom. You're going to see a lot of land speculation, and you're going to see a lot of construction. It's going to be fun to watch.
No question about it. And just to be clear, as every president says and politician, Omaha was put on the map for the Ebola virus, not because they call it the Omaha virus, but because we were part of the solution. And
Precisely.
We're going to be part of the solution for anything that the next project is involved with.
You got that right. Well, hey, work is underway for the new Gretna High School at 180th Street. It's a little bit south of Cornhusker Road. So for those of you who are not terribly familiar with that newish part of Gretna, if you are on Highway 370 and you go north on 180th Street, about halfway to Cornhusker Road, there you'll see it on the west side of 180th. I drove by the construction site this week. It's a big construction site because the high schools, they come with all the athletic fields and everything else, and they're big buildings to begin with. But I find it interesting, just shows you the amount of population growth that officials in Gretna must be expecting if you already have construction on a second high school for that district.
Okay, so there's a couple new high schools that Omaha Public Schools, 60th and L Street. They're naming it which is interesting. It's the Buena Vista Bison, and bison is plural, so it's like go bison.
Bisons.
Nope, just go bison.
But buffaloes.
Yeah, nope, bison. Anyway, so you've got those high schools. You got Gretna. You've got
Well, then you have they've announced the name of the OPS high school at 156th and Ida as Westview.
yeah, Westview because you look to the west.
Yeah.
And then very exciting, the Westview Expanders or something. I don't know what their. Did you remember what their mascot is?
No, that was not part of my show preparation. That high school mascots was part
It
of
was my assignment.
That was
ladies
your
and gentlemen.
assignment.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But then you've got Elkhorn North High School.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these schools going up, yet our population really hasn't grown very much over the years.
Well, if you figure, I mean, we add a net of about 10,000 people a year, net gain, and you
Those people have to
multiply
get
that-
educated.
That's right. Some of them more than others. And we haven't built a lot of high schools in recent years, so perhaps some of this was a little bit due. And
I mean, I'm all for the growth.
and I think you have to look, okay, let's look at the OPS district. Some of the high schools in OPS are bursting at the seams.
Right.
If you look, I've got kids in the Millard district. The 3 Millard high schools are all like 2,000 to 2,600 kids. I mean, the schools are pretty big.
Well, for the time they built Millard West,
That was way back in 1995.
they had trailers out there or portable classrooms almost from the start.
Yeah. Well, the suburban areas have fast growth, but with the new Buena Vista High School at 60th and L, we've seen extremely significant population growth in established old South Omaha, which is what has forced the need for that high school there at 60th and L.
And I have to thank, the name of the show is Grow Omaha. We've been on the air for over 17 years. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And we probably have a lot to do with the growth.
We hope at least a little, don't we? Hey, this is interesting. The deceased Omaha Sheraton Hotel, high on the hill on the northeast corner of Interstate 680 and
Bless its
West
heart.
Dodge Expressway. I'm sorry?
Bless its heart.
Bless its heart. The actual address is 655 North 108th Street. That is going to become, if plans come to fruition, an assisted living facility. It is on a 5.56 acre site, 6 stories, 221 room hotel currently. But that is going to be, if plans come to fruition, an assisted living facility.
Great view.
And a great use for that.
Great reuse, yeah.
I mean, there would be plenty of room for a lot of amenities because if you're familiar with that former hotel, conference space, restaurant space, huge lobby area. So there would be room for all sorts of amenities that, assisted living, they have food service. A lot of times they'll have a bar, hair salon, recreational stuff. They got a pool there. So that makes a lot of sense as a reuse.
They could have the world's largest shuffleboard courts in that conference center.
Hey, don't you make fun of shuffleboard. I kind of like playing that game.
It's coming back.
I went and visited my my in-laws who winter in Arizona, and they have an outdoor shuffleboard area. That was kind of fun. My son and I got pretty competitive playing that stuff. Don't be talking down about shuffleboard.
I got shuffleboard elbow on a cruise ship one time.
I
had to lay off it for like 3 days.
You can't be too careful. Well, we want to tell people about something pretty exciting. We have a new newsletter that is going to be coming out. So Grow Omaha has been around for 17 years, and we decided we have gotten to the point now where there is too much news for us to report in the show. In order to report all of the news we want to report on the show, it would be nothing but an hour-long newscast. Boom, boom, boom. That's how much is going on in this town. So we have created this thing called the Grow Omaha Weekly Market Report. And we're going to release it for the first time this week. And let me tell you a little bit about the sections we're going to have. The first section will always be new restaurants and retailers. And what's the reason for that, Trenton?
Everybody loves them.
Yeah, new restaurants are the red meat of Grow Omaha. People love hearing about that. So we'll always have our new restaurants and retail features at the top of the e-newsletter. Then we will have the Grow Omaha news of the week, and then we're going to have local Omaha business news after that. So you don't want to miss this. And we have about 6,100 people queued up so far who are people that are clients of our companies and friends and contacts that we have, people in our industry. However, it's open to everyone. But in order to get it, we need your email address. So if you would like to receive this new Grow Omaha Weekly Market Report, which is going to be very, very content heavy and Grow Omaha news type stuff, you have two options. One is to send an email to news@growomaha.com. That's news@growomaha.com. Just say something like newsletter in the subject line. That's all we need, because then we'll just pull your email address from your email.
The thousands of other people that send it in.
The other option would be to direct message us through the Grow Omaha Facebook page and just say newsletter and write your email address on there. But we're going to do that. I think we're still debating whether it's going to be Tuesday morning or Thursday morning, but it's going to be this week, and we're going to get it out, and we would love to have you be a part of this. This will be, in my opinion, obviously I'm biased, but probably the single most interesting newsletter you'll read each week.
And the most read newspaper in the city.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to provide a lot more business news.
All digital.
It's going to provide a lot more business news than some other publications that supposedly report on
You can give
business.
us other friends' emails as well, as long as it's legit and they want the weekly newsletter, and you're going to be informed. Your colleagues, your friends are going to be informed. But that's not all, Jeff.
It isn't?
No, because
this wasn't on the script.
Believe it or not, we have sponsorship opportunities. And
oh, yeah.
And we have an opportunity for you to sponsor the Grow Omaha newsletter with weekly newsletter with clickability. Plus, it can be tied into some interviews on here if we like you and it's legitimate. And, because there'll be a lot of people that just, are friends that want to just put their name on there.
Yeah.
Something, but we prefer that you're promoting a business that ties into Omaha.
Okay, so again, if you want to be a subscriber and it's totally free, just send your email to news@growomaha.com or DM us on Facebook. All right, that's it for the news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a groundbreaking in Ralston, and we're going to talk about construction at 144th and Dodge. You don't want to miss any of that. You're listening to Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing, and we're going to be right back on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.